if a city's identity was built not on a single industry, but on two that shaped both its economy and its place in the world. Not just what it made, but what it launched. Because in the case of Belfast, industry did not stay on land. It extended outward into the Atlantic. Welcome to the making of Britain. Belfast's rise is closely tied to its position at the head of Belfast Lough. This sheltered inlet provided access to the Irish Sea while connecting the city to inland Ulster. The surrounding region offered agricultural resources and later a labour force that would support industrial expansion. Belfast was not initially a major city. Its growth depended on how it used its location, not simply as a port, but as a link between land and sea. By the 18th century, Belfast had become a centre for linen production. The industry developed from domestic weaving into more organised manufacturing, supported by access to flax and skilled labour. Linen from Ulster gained a reputation for quality and was exported widely. This early industry base provided the foundation for urban growth. Markets, warehouses and transport systems developed to support the trade. Belfast was beginning to define itself through production. As you've walked so far with me, you can really support this channel by giving this video a like. It helps YouTube show it to far more people who may enjoy it. So thanks. The linen industry did more than generate wealth. It created a framework for industrial organisation. Skills, capital and infrastructure developed through linen production could be applied elsewhere. As the 19th century progressed, Belfast expanded into other industries, including engineering and shipbuilding. The city's economy became more diversified, though still closely tied to its original strengths. By the late 19th century, Belfast had become one of the leading shipbuilding centres in the world. Firms such as Harland and Wolff established large shipyards along the waterfront. These yards produced vessels for commercial and passenger use, contributing to Britain's global maritime presence. Shipbuilding required coordination between multiple industries: steel production, engineering, design, and labour. Belfast became a place where these elements converged. At this point, it's worth asking, does industrial strength come from specialising in one sector or from combining several into larger systems? Was Belfast defined more by its linen or by its ships? Share your thoughts in the comments, because the city's development suggests that identity can emerge from the interaction of industries rather than a single source. Industrial expansion brought significant population growth. Workers moved into Belfast from surrounding rural areas, creating new districts and reshaping the city's structure. Housing, transport, and public services expanded in response. The city became increasingly defined by its industrial workforce. Daily life was structured around production cycles, whether in mills or shipyards. Belfast's growth was rapid, but it was also uneven, reflecting the pressures of industrialisation. The products of Belfast's industries travelled far beyond Ireland. Linen was exported across Europe and beyond, while ships built in the city operated on international routes. By the way, if you subscribe, there's a whole back catalogue of videos like this one for you to enjoy. Belfast's economy was tied to global systems of trade and transport. Its industries connected it to markets and networks that extended across the British Empire and the wider world. The 20th century brought significant challenges. Global competition, technological change, and political developments altered the conditions that had supported Belfast's industrial growth. Shipbuilding declined, and the linen industry faced increasing pressures. Economic restructuring became necessary, as traditional industries lost dominance. The city's identity, once closely tied to manufacturing, began to shift. In recent decades, Belfast has undergone significant redevelopment. Former industrial areas have been repurposed for commercial, cultural and residential use. New sectors, including services and tourism, have become more prominent. The city's waterfront, once dominated by shipyards, now reflects a different kind of economy. Belfast continues to evolve, balancing its industrial heritage with modern development. Belfast's history remains visible in its landscape and institutions. The legacy of linen production and shipbuilding continues to shape how the city understands itself. Its story is not one of a single industry, but of interaction between land and sea, production and export, local identity, and global connection. If Belfast shows how a city can build its identity through multiple industries working together, what does that suggest about how economic strength develops? Is it better to specialise or to combine? Because the story of Belfast is not just about what it produced, it's about how these productions connected it to the wider world. YouTube has chosen this video for you to watch next based on watching this one. Have a look, I think you'll like it. If you ding the bell, you'll be notified of all new episodes so you don't miss any. Thanks for walking a little further along the road that made Britain with me. Bye.